than just a beginner at it then? So do you think you'd be able to put more than 120 square foot of fire?
Yeah.
Probably. The more you do it, the more you practice, the better you get at it. Just like in your class, the first time you make XYZ dish, it may or may not turn out quite right. But as you learn and you practice it a few more times, you get better and better at it, and more proficient at it. Same with fire extinguishers. Do we have fires in our schools ever?
There has been one back.
There have been quite a few actually. They're not big.
Yeah.
The New West Middle, when it opened back in January of 2002, that April we had a fire. The drinking fountain started on fire.
How's that?
Okay? Because they have a compressor motor in them. And flames right outside the office shot to the ceiling. We've had fires in bathrooms. We've had fires with popcorn machines. We've had pieces of equipment start on fire. So they happen in schools. These are pretty cheap insurance if we can get a fire put out quickly versus rooms and buildings getting burned. When our high schools were built in Sioux City, the code did not require sprinkler systems back in the 70s. So the only place that was required to have sprinklers in any of our 3 high schools was the stage. So there are sprinklers on the stage here at North High. And then when the new science wing was built, the code was you have to, so they are sprinkled. But if we can catch a fire before that goes off, it's even better. So these extinguishers are our first line of defense. When Mrs. Miller had me come in and do this 2 years ago, the day after we did this, one of the young ladies had a fire at the place where she worked. And what we found out is most of you that are working somewhere in the food service industry, whether it's fast food or restaurant, get absolutely no training. Sioux City Fire Departments even asked some of them, and they're like, what do you give them for training? And they're like, what do you mean? They just work. And they're like, oh my word. But this young lady actually, she wasn't the one that put it out, but she knew what to do because of the training that your teachers said, hey, let's try this, let's do this. So you're getting more training than you do most of the time going out and working in the food service industry right now. All right, so let's move on to the next step with these.